Tell me why you don't want to have a partner in life.
Finding out that my estranged husband has been having a new relationship. And I have a boyfriend that not only was he having a relationship, but they're totally involved in saying I love you and blah.
A couple weeks ago, there was this company party, and I don't even know how to say this. Slept with a coworker.
47-year-old Ina Canoyer poisoned her boyfriend.
2023, there was an article, and it said 50% of women in relationships have a backup partner.
I like black men.
Welcome back to More to Life. Let's get right to it.
Here's some crazy research for you. So a third of men, 33%, a little over a third of men between the ages of 18 and 29 are not only single, but they're not actively looking for a partner. The same study said that by the year 2030, that 45% of women between the ages of 20 and 45 will be single. So I've got a question for the men, because I see it all the time in my comments. Most of my comments are filled with guys saying we're done. We're not looking. We like our peace. I need some more talk from you guys. Tell me why you're done. Tell me why you don't want to have a partner in life. Tell me why it's more worth it to be single than to have a partner.
Peace of mind.
Even if you weren't to remarry, just to have a partner. I mean, I've talked to a lot of men. I've got my answers, but I want to hear it in the comments. So please, drop it in the comments.
It's been seen, right? Take a look at what you see on social media. We see you telling on yourselves. You telling what you want from men. But you telling what you want from men is at the exposal of men's happiness. It's degrading to men. You think your high body count is okay. All the time you say, it's fine that I have a high body count. If a man thinks that's not fine, he doesn't want a woman that's experienced. A man should want, like a lot of things, it doesn't make sense to men. You have to understand how we think. And just those couple of things I listed off, yes, that's what you say. It sounds crazy. When you hear it said to you like that, it sounds like I'm crazy. But that's what you say all the time. And not you yourself. Other women out there you may know.
This woman murdered her boyfriend for $30 million. 47-year-old Ina Canoyer poisoned her boyfriend, 51-year-old Stephen Riley, after she found out that he inherited $30 million.
Snake.
Fortunately for Ina, Stephen was never going to receive any money. This all started when Stephen received an email from an anonymous person who claimed to be his distant relative and offered him $30 million for absolutely no reason. Stephen believed
she unalived him over a scam email. I hope she don't say that. He believed the scam email, but she did too. Where were they from?
that this was real and arranged a time to meet with this person to sign off on the cash. And on September 3rd, Stephen and Nina went to the airport where this person was supposed to meet them, but they never showed up. Now, this is where things take a turn. Before going to the airport, Ina made sure that Stephen drank a cup of tea that she had made him, which was poisoned with antifreeze. It did not take long for Stephen to feel extremely sick, and while others tried to take him to the hospital, Ina said that he just had a heat stroke and he should just go home. Ina waited until the next day to call paramedics, and at this point, Stephen was already deceased. According to their close friends, Stephen was planning to leave Ina when he received the money and share all the money with his kids. But she wasn't gonna let that happen. She believed she had rights to his money as his common law wife. Unfortunately for Ina, there was never any money, so she did this all for no reason, and now she faces up to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Man, that's sad. I don't want to say what I was about to say, but the brains on him. I think, like, have both of you ever had a job? Have you ever dealt with emails? Because that was the same email that my wife got saying, pick me up at the airport. One of those blood diamond guys. It sounds like they got one of those Nigerian African schemes. One of them sent the email to them, and they both believed, man. This is wild. This is crazy.
I'm in love with my man, but I don't say too much because I want y'all to feel like y'all still got a chance with me just in case something happens.
I mean, what can you do? In 2023, there was an article and it said 50% of women in relationships have a backup partner. That means 50% of everybody that's in a marriage or relationships, their woman has a backup partner or someone in interest. This doesn't have to be someone she's talking to every day. This could be a co-worker, she's a nurse and the doctor's flirting with her, or this could be someone that's interacting with her on her Instagram or Facebook, liking all her pictures, constantly DMing her, but she doesn't respond out of respect for you. But she knows if you messes up, she has a chance with him. It's the rebound guy. So just in case y'all don't work out, she got an option over here. Even if the option isn't pure and have pure intentions, it doesn't matter. She still thinks that she has this option. Or it could be a guy with pure intentions that simply thinks he's better than you. Moral of the story is, bro, there's always gonna be somebody. Not always, but hey, 50% is too high for me.
50% is extremely high, but I say as a man, you gotta work on yourself continuously. Like me, I make sure at least 3-4 days out the week I'm in the gym. You never know. I never like to think I'm secure with anything. And I know I'm secure. I'm out here in a whole nother country and still I stay on my P's and Q's. I stay in tip-top shape. I keep myself sharp. I make sure I'm on top of my looks and everything I'm doing, because you never know. You just never know. And a woman can take it there. Like that. Just decide one day she doesn't want to be with you. Hypergamy sets in. Or if not hypergamy, oh, he didn't talk to me enough. I didn't feel the emotional connection any longer. Hey, you gotta go? You gotta go. I'm not gonna cry. Bye-bye.
Or Dominican men?
I like black men.
I love black men. I love you.
What do you like about black men?
I like everything about them.
That right there to have a black man go,
I said, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Latinas is checking for me, right? And it's not just something she's saying. You can tell in her face, the way she's looking, I like black man. But I didn't believe it. Of course I believe it. She's showing it, right? Then I took a look at the comments and I said, you gotta be kidding me. Here's some of the comments here. Let me review this. I reviewed it. It says, oh yes, we love them here. We love y'all too. Same here. Can't wait to find mine. And Dominican Queen looks bad. And this girl right here, no call ID, looks good too. Then I went to the next one. It says, I'm in the wrong part of the world.
Not a shortage of black men.
Well, no, that's probably in the US too. Don't sleep. Yes, man. I approve this message. Yes, we do. Love everything about them. This one here says, yes, my girl. Speak for us Latin woman. Now, you would never know, like, as a black man, black men know. A lot of guys are going across the seas to other countries, but this is at home too. Because men are wanted. Men are wanted all across the board. Seriously. Take it serious. We know y'all are trying to divest yourself. It works for some, but not for most. But the black man, we loved everywhere. Internationally loved and appreciated.
You know what haunts me to this day? When I worked at a frozen yogurt shop with this random white girl, a black man walked in once. He was picking out his frozen yogurt and all his toppings, and the whole entire time this girl was whispering to me how she religiously only dated black men. Black men were her king. She wanted to mix children. She went on a whole rant the entire time, just whispering me this. You know what else happened? The man ended up checking out, and you know who the man was? He was my brother. It's so weird. Why?
Now, why didn't you tap your brother on the shoulder and say, bro, she likes you? Foul. Your brother would have been happy and said, I got one. What if your brother's going through a slump? Come on now. You so stuck on yourself. Oh, no, I could never hook my brother up with a white girl. It's crazy. But the hate, it comes from within or it comes from around you. Beware.
I didn't know. Well, I guess I did know, but that I would have this really strong reaction physically, trauma reaction to finding out that my estranged husband has been having a new relationship. Now, I'm not saying that he shouldn't. We've been separated for a year, but we see each other a lot and we spend time as a family together a lot. And I had asked him many times, are you seeing somebody? And he said, no, no, no. I kept saying no. And then he'd take me to dinner and we'd have a nice chat. And I have a boyfriend
You can't make this up.
that I've been seeing. So it's not like I think he shouldn't. Don't get me wrong. This isn't about that. But what happened was because he didn't tell me,
the audacity.
I felt safe around him still, like in the way that he still loved me. So he invited me to go on a trip with him and the girls, and I said yes. He bought this big boat for his business, and so we went and got on this boat. But I said yes because I didn't want, you have this feeling when you first get separated that you can't imagine your husband and your children having a great time without you or with a new woman. And I was like, okay, I don't know whether I should go or not. Like, I don't want him to think something, but then my daughter said, well, he's not going to ask you again, so you should come. And I don't know why she said that, but I do now. So I went. And then when I was there, I found out, because he kept texting and texting, and I just was like, what's going on? And anyway, I found out through some very horrific texts, my fault, that not only was he having a relationship, but they're totally involved in saying, I love you and blah, blah, blah. And I had this physical trauma.
Emotional damage.
Like, I went off the rails. It was terrible. And
have a man and then get mad when he moves on. He has to move on for his sanity. We do. He has to have a life with someone else. You left him. Most likely took half. Now you want to take half the rest of his heart too? So he can't be happy anymore? That's wild.
I was physically ill. And there's a link. They did a study at Johns Hopkins. It's called stress cardiomyopathy, which happens, and it's also called broken heart syndrome, and nobody really takes offense to that because it's what it is. And there's also studies of people that die 88 minutes apart, like the couple in Pennsylvania in 2012. They'd been together their whole lives, 57 years or something, and they died 88 minutes apart because they just couldn't live without the other person. And I think the hard part is that because I'd been with him for so long, since I was 18, for him to be in a relationship.
Stop it. Get some help.
Where he is in one, and you can't figure it out in your mind.
You know what this happens to them, right? Exactly what she said it. You were with him for so long, but that's what the marriage was for. You broke it off. You see other females doing that to their husbands. You see them saying it and lying, saying they're happy. And they're not. They're miserable. And that's because you have a love bond. You've been with him since 18. You pair bonded. And you broke that bond. It's going to be painful. 18, that means you probably haven't had many bodies. You and your husband were a perfect match. Look how you feel right now. At least tell him I love you. If you took half his stuff, give back to him. Seriously. If you took half his money, hey, baby, here's your money back. I want to get back with you. Even if we don't get married, I just want to be with you for the rest of my life.
And if you can humble yourself.
Tell him that. Especially if you got divorced recently. A man may take you into consideration. Most won't. He might, though. He might. Because he probably misses you, too. But she ain't going to do that.
And then it felt like he had died. And I kept getting this sick feeling like he was gone and dead. And I almost wished he was dead, because it was so shit not to tell me and take me out there so that I'm trapped on a boat with him and his girlfriend on the phone. And then I find out she's at his house, and it's like everything in that house is mine, like that we got when we were married.
He left a long time ago.
And that she's been sleeping there. I had no idea. None. And I just feel like that was a bad way for me to find out. I wish I'd had more gradual way to get to it, because I felt humiliated, embarrassed, stupid, old, ugly, because I think she's like 30, and like typical, right? And I honestly, I've been in shock for 4 days. And he's like, well, get over it, you do it. And it's like, you have no, what? This is traumatizing. And I just acted so badly.
Now, I want to stop it right there. This is halfway through the video. But you see when he said, get over it, I think he said that. Now, if he did say that, get over it, you do it. That's because you have a boyfriend. If you have a boyfriend, why do you care? Why do you want to have your cake and eat it too? This is a big thing nowadays. A lot of y'all want to do this, and you shouldn't be able to do it. Move on. And he needs to move on as well. Leave him alone.
So you're saying that a woman that has an extremely high body count would still have the same value to you. So if I say that my body count is about between 100 and 120, which it is.
She belongs to the streets.
Are you not judging me in your mind? Because I would think you're crazy if you're not. No offense.
No, I'm not judging you.
So then what's your body count?
I don't feel comfortable sharing that.
So then it does matter?
It doesn't matter, but I feel like I get to keep personal details to myself, and if my man wants to know, I'll let him know.
But I understand it doesn't matter though.
I do feel like your body count is your personal story, so you get to share that with who you want to.
Yeah, I get that you can share it with who you want to, but why wouldn't you share it with everybody if it doesn't matter?
Because I'm more private on the public.
It sounds like it matters to you.
It matters. It matters. Like that's huge. Just like I said with the wife, right? She got married when she was 18. That was the best thing she could have done. It was. And a guy can't marry a female that's been sleeping around with the block. Why would he want that? Nobody wants used goods. And guys understand. Everybody's used goods, but that use, who wants a 1980, 83 Buick, right? When they have money for a brand new car for 2025, they're going to pay that's a good analogy. They're going to pay, let's say $20,000-$30,000 for a 1983 Buick. That's what y'all are saying. Get me. I'm the Buick. I got good miles. I'm a strong American car. You're not wanted.
Real talk.
Say this, but my husband is manipulating and emotionally abusing me.
Oh man. Tell me about it. Whatever you're comfortable talking about. Yeah, I don't want you to just talk. Tell me as much as you feel comfortable telling me.
Okay, so let me just start from the beginning. When my husband and I first started dating, we had this deep conversation about cheating. He told me, clear as day, if this ever happens, I need to know straight away. If you tell me and it only happens once, I think I could forgive you. And honestly, that stuck with me. It made me feel like, okay, if I ever screwed up, at least being honest would matter to him more. Fast forward 5 years and we're married now. A couple weeks ago, there was this company party, and I don't even know how to say this, but I made a huge mistake. I slept with a coworker.
Deal with the consequences of that.
I know. It's awful. It was a moment of weakness, and I've hated myself every second since it happened. That conversation we had all those years ago, it kept playing in my head. I thought, if I just told him, at least I'd have a chance to fix things, you know? So, a couple of nights ago, I brought it up. I asked him if he remembered those conversations we had about cheating. At first, he was like, which one? Because we had a lot of talks like that early on. So I reminded him about how he said he would forgive me if it only happened once, if I was honest. And then I told him everything. His reaction was immediate. He looked mortified. He didn't even say anything. Just packed his stuff and left.
What's done is done.
I begged him to stay. I was crying, apologizing, trying to explain, but he wouldn't listen.
Right.
He said he needed to cool down and walked out. The next day, we finally talked, and I tried to remind him of that conversation, thinking maybe it would help him maybe understand why I confessed. And do you know what he did? He laughed. He was just there on the other end of the phone laughing. Then he told me that he never meant any of it. That he only said he'd forgive me back then to make sure I'd confess if I ever cheated. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I know what I did was wrong. I'm not denying that for a second, but to hear him say he lied to me, that all this time he never actually meant to forgive me, it felt like, I don't know, like I'd been set up.
It's not my fault.
Now he's planning to divorce me, and he said there's nothing I can say or do to make him change his mind. And I get it. I broke his trust. But at the same time, it feels like he broke mine too.
You serious?
I believed we had this understanding, you know? And maybe if I knew he was lying, I wouldn't have cheated in the first place.
You cheated because you felt like he gave you a free pass to cheat once? You cheated when it's someone from your job who you've been cheating with in your mind every day. That's what happened. You said, you got drunk, said, I get a free pass. Let me go cash that free pass in. But a guy I've been wanting for the longest, you cheated probably 10 times. My man, he's smart. Oh, he's smart. He's so smart. That's how you get her to tell you. She felt guilty saying he said to tell him. He said to be honest, he would forgive me, and she fell for it. He got her. Checkmate. And I believe when you have proof, right? If she admits it, it's something like depending on the state. She won't get that much in a divorce. Like she won't get half his stuff or something like that. Smart man. He lucked out.
Do you think after a divorce, it's fair to have a 50-50 split of assets?
No, that is ridiculous to me. Like, no.
Oh, I saw some eyebrows. I'm looking
No,
forward to these
I
explanations.
think what you bring into the marriage is what you should leave with. I think a prenuptial agreement should just always be a mandatory thing that you do, because, like, how are you going to explain, say a guy and his family have, like, had a family-owned business and then he marries some girl and then they've got to halve that? I think that's ridiculous. I think you need to, unless that girl wants to, like, be a more submissive partner, but if most women aren't these days.
Yep. She's right. We need more thinkers like her. That's common sense. That's plain logic. I mean, this is the kind of woman men want, right? To get a woman like her. She's the kind that's going to do for you, be married to you, and not expect to get most of your things. I've saw, and most of you have seen as well, plenty that take everything from a man. Nowadays, they're even crying about it. The divorce laws are going to be thrown out. Now you have to have proof. I don't want to get married anymore. Like, what? Fine for guys. I'm happy that's happening, actually.
I know a lot of men that will wifey hoes here because they think I've been a hoe. Let me tell you something.
Don't work like that.
Being a hoe and a woman
Two
being
different
a hoe
things.
are two different type of hoes.
Facts.
And I just have to put it out there. Yeah, there is a difference between men and women.
Being a hoe, especially being hoes.
Having promiscuous past.
100%.
Now, women will say that men can't settle down, but it's even worse for a woman because a woman is more fragile than a man is in every sense, in her mental, in her physical, in everything. So if she constantly keeps getting her heart broken, then how will she ever be able to settle down with me when I've come?
Man, it's even worse if she keeps getting her back broken. Seriously, because a lot of y'all think I can just get guy after guy after guy. It's just practice. No. You keep getting your back broken and your heart broken. Whew, that makes you bitter. It makes you someone I can't be with. And most men know a lot of y'all out there we can't be with. You're showing you're all over the place. And what man wants to deal with that? None of us.
Men want to date somebody so much younger because y'all be wanting somebody to train. That's what it is. And men say
No,
that.
not sometimes.
Women are not things to train.
Well, she could train up. It said train up a child the way they should go.
No, sir. Am I crazy for thinking that anyone over the age of 22 should not even entertain romantically someone that is 18, 19 years old at all? Am I crazy for thinking that? Because I just think ethically it should not be the case. But wait, she's mature. She's grown. She can make her own decisions now. She's 1 year removed from having to raise her hand in class, so she doesn't urinate or defecate on herself. Come on now. What are we talking about? Hear me out though. Use your noggin. Age gaps really only start to work once you're in your mid-20s, like around 24, 23 years old. There you can date down to about 20, let's say about 22, maybe 21, and up to maybe about 30, 31, 32 if you're pushing it, but that's a strong push. Because at that point, you have an idea of who you're going to be and where you're trying to go to. When you're 18, 19 years old, you don't know who the hell you're going to be. You don't know what you want in life. If you end up dating someone that's much older than yourself, please look in the mirror and ask yourself this question. Are you proud of the person that you're becoming? Or are you just becoming the person that they wanted to create?
This guy is a little kid. You're thinking like a young woman, my man. Seriously, you are. Once you're of age, you're of age. And actually, back in the day, you want to take it back. Back in the day, which people like to say, well, especially ladies, y'all like to say, oh, well, women were taken advantage of. We couldn't do this, we couldn't do that. No, back in the day, a 40-year-old, this was a known thing. Young woman got with grown men. And even still today, that's a known thing. And even still in other countries, it's a known thing. And then all of y'all want these high-value men. The high-value men are older. That's what you should be going for. But he's kind of young. He still doesn't understand yet. Hopefully, he understands soon enough. I think he'll understand when he's dating more. Once he starts learning how women think and how they act and how they view money, how they'll take advantage of you. Once he smells the coffee, right? Once he sips the tea, he'll start to notice, wait a minute, the younger the better. He'll start having maybe, not all guys think like that, but still, he'll start thinking, get him why she's not used goods. Because the younger, sometimes the better. If that's what you're into. But yeah, guys, thank y'all for watching. See you next video.